Okay. Hey guys, welcome to my second video. To be fair, I did say I was gonna try and be as consistent um, as I possibly could. Um, but yeah, we're back with another match reaction today. Arsenal 3, Atletico Madrid nil. Was it 3-0 or 4-0? I feel like it was 4-0. Yeah, it was 4-0. My bad. It was 4-0. Honestly, my mind's gone blank. But yeah. The performance today was, I'll say, a lot better than the Fulham game. I think the first 15 to 20 minutes we were a lot more fast on the build up. I definitely think the first 20 minutes were a lot more lively. We had a chance there with Eze, where he took the shot and then he deflected and hit the post, and then we could have ended up in the back of the net if Declan Rice just hit the ball a bit more cleanly there, because he kind of hit towards the ground and they kind of just bobbled over the bar. But yeah, I think the first kind of 10-20 minutes we looked a lot more threatening than we do. And then obviously there was that kind of kerfuffle with David Raya. I'm not really sure what he was trying to do there. Either just put your laces through it and clear the ball, or just let that ball run out. I thought he was going to do too much there, and then that almost we fucked around and almost actually conceded. So that was a few warning shots there. Atletico did look all right when they were coming through, when they were actually trying to attack us a little bit, which kind of surprised me a little bit because I don't really watch much of the Spanish league, so I'm not sure how well they're doing and stuff. But they looked all right. Julian Alvarez, what a transformation he's had. I feel like he's gone there and he's completely changed his whole career trajectory. But yeah, apart from our individual performances, I think Skelly was really good. I'm a massive fan of Skelly playing left back. I would obviously this is a crazy shout, but I would like to see him in midfield one day. I don't think that's ever going to happen. He's definitely someone, especially in that second goal where I mentioned last week about having that progressive eight who can just pick up that ball and just push the team forward, and that's how you can increase the speed of your build up a little bit more, because the way he kind of received that ball under pressure is something that we don't really have in that midfield, especially in that kind of eight, in that deep line, especially with Declan Rice. I love Declan Rice, but I very much doubt he's got that kind of finesse where he can receive the ball with that much pressure, turn and drive it in that way. He does have that ability to drive the ball, but not facing his own goal in that kind of way that Skelly done, and that was really good of him. And I was hoping he released that perfectly on time, because he does that a few times and then he kind of draws on the foul a little bit, but this time he actually released it to Martinelli, and he ended up scoring, which is a very good goal. And obviously the other goals as well were very good. But yeah, Lewis Kelly for me was the standout, along with Timber. I thought Tim had a really good game. Saka, I feel like in the first half he was really good, and the second half he kind of just died off a little bit. He had a chance towards the end there where I feel like he could have released it a bit quicker. But all in all, I think our right hand side looked decent. Martinelli as well was a bit quiet in the first half, and the second half he kind of came to his half. Look, I'm not the biggest Martinelli fan. I think he leaves a lot to desire, but you kind of have to give credit where credit's due, and I think he took his goal well. He made himself a nuisance, especially in that second half. And I think he can be a decent squad player. It's really going to be up to him or Trossard who takes that second, that left hand side, because I don't think Madueke looks competent on that side. I think he looks very awkward on that side. I think his better games he's had at Arsenal, definitely when he was on that other side of the pitch. So it's between those two to really make the difference. Going across the pitch, Declan, I feel like Declan had a very poor first half. He was slipping and sliding a few times. I'm not sure whether that was his boots or he just his concentration just wasn't there. But I feel like he was very poor in the first half. He kind of came a little bit better in the second half. Maybe it's just fatigue with Declan. Maybe that's the thing. I feel like his performances have been a bit inconsistent. Um, and yeah, I feel like we definitely need to kind of just take him out of the firing line a little bit, give him a bit of a rest, and kind of try Ethan a little bit more. I do really feel bad for Ethan because he signed a new contract, and he doesn't really feature as much as he may have thought he might do, but hopefully that soon changes. Zubamendi was really good. I think this was one of his best games so far in Arsenal share. I think he was a lot more composed. One thing I definitely would say is the way he gets across the player, especially when he's marking them or trying to receive the ball, is very Timber like. And what I mean by that is when you watch Timber get tight to a player, he almost likes to get around the players, or like he gives you like when you have Timber coming onto you, you almost have like 2 or 3 seconds to release that ball. Otherwise, he's gonna you know increase the aggressiveness of the end. And I saw that a little bit today with Zubamendi. A lot of the times when when he's trying to retrieve that ball, he retrieves it in a very similar technique to what Timber does. He gets his whole body to the other side of that ball and really ups that pressure. And he almost got, you know, he almost got sent off for that. But I really like that about him. He's really taken on that aggressive role that he may not have been doing when he was at Spain. But yeah, I thought he had a very good game. Gabriel, I thought he looked a bit here and there, hot and cold in the first half. But in the second half, he came to a bit, but they didn't really have much to do. Victor Gyökeres, I thought he had a decent game, to be honest. I don't think his hold up play looked a lot better, but I'm still stuck on. I'm still very confident on this. He needs to lose weight, and I think it would only be better for him if he wants to really have a future, not only in Arsenal but in the Premier League. I just think right now he's a bit too heavy footed, in the sense that the ball gets stuck under his feet a lot, and ultimately every time the ball gets to him, he almost struggles to kind of get it under control and play it off a bit. And it makes it very difficult to use him as a anchor to our build up, because every time the ball does get to him, it doesn't stick. It doesn't stick at all. Okay, cool. He draws fouls, but when you look at the way he gets these fouls, it's like, okay, mate, come on, like you're a little bit too lethargic on the ball. And I'd like to think, hopefully, you know, the medical team and the conditioning team will kind of start to work with him a little bit more to make him lose off a bit of weight, because hopefully once he does that, he can stop doing Randy Orton and John Cena with the defenders and actually pull them away and actually try and create himself chances. And I'm glad and I'm happy for him that he's got those 2 goals. You can see how happy he was, especially with that second one. And hopefully that will do him a word of confidence. But yeah, a much better performance from him, but definitely, he needs to cut a little bit more, I would say, because he's too heavy-footed for me. But overall, I think we looked okay. One thing I would say is we're not clinical, in the sense that when we get these chances, it's almost like it's just a little bit too close, and then eventually a set piece bails us out. I think we are a little bit wasteful in front of goal, I would say. We had a few chances, like I said, in the first half with the with the Rice shot, and then sorry, the Eze shot and then the Rice rebound. Obviously that I remember there was an offside one, which is again, it's Martinelli. You can't really expect much. He does this all the time. And I think we had another chance. We had a Gyökeres chance. Yeah, to be fair, that one in the second half, that one was a difficult chance for Gyökeres. I think he was leaning back a little bit, and it was almost like a semi chance. And then we had Saka as well, with the All Black chance in the first half. So we have chances to kind of kill this game off, and I was a bit surprised it's 0-0 at the end of the first half. Obviously, I know they could have scored with the Alvarez shot in the second half, but apart from that, they didn't really have much. So great victory, and especially, we've got, I think we've got Slavia Prague, and Bayern next. So we kind of needed to win this game, pick up a couple more points, and then all of a sudden, we're now off to the round of 16. But great performance, obviously, out to the next game, which is Palace. I would like us to play a bit more of a front-footed team. I'd like to see Declan come off in this game against Palace, and try Ethan in there, um, Ethan and Eze, and see how that kind of works. And Zubamendi in that six. I definitely would like to see also Skelly start at left back, but I feel like just for the defensive solidarity, I think he's gonna put Calafiori there. But definitely, in a home game where you're meant to be the opposing, so you're meant to be on the front foot. Someone like Skelly is someone that we should be playing in left back, because he's a very attacking left back, and also he's very good at driving the ball forward. And I feel like it can work if you put Rice there as well. Because obviously, if you put Skelly and Ethan and Eze, it's way too attacking, and they might leave us a bit too vulnerable at the back. So, if Skelly's gonna come in, I'll be happy to see Skelly and Rice in that left channel. But I feel like he's gonna go with Calafiori, so there's not really much on that. But yeah, on to Saturday. Hopefully, we win that, and just kind of push forward. I think now it's too early to kind of say what we're gonna do in the Champions League, or even do anything remotely close to what we did last season. I think it's way too early for that. I think our road test will come against Bayern Munich, and I'd like to see how we play against that. But yeah, that kind of concludes today's match preview. I will try and be a bit more consistent with like the YouTube channel and stuff like that. But obviously, it's not easy, especially when you got other commitments. But yeah, apart from that, well, thank you so much for watching, guys. And I will see you guys soon.